Alright, everyone. Good morning. So, I'm feeling a little bit better than last week. Still got a cough, still trying to keep my nose from running off my face. But, am feeling a bit better. So, I have not gotten much done for Satisfactory in the past week. I don't think I've really played it off stream much. I think I did a little bit, but I don't really remember. So we're going to get back to building our resource hub. We're going to get back to our nuclear research. Get our audio check out of the way. So we're going to get back to building our... Audio works. I love it. And if anyone's wondering why, you gotta check that. I've had a couple times when my computer restarts and for whatever reason the audio ends up rendering wrong. Yeah, so I did something off stream. Oh, you know what I did off stream? I did a little bit of wiring for the resource hub, but I also found out that for the awesome sync, you can get multiple bundles of resources. Now I don't know exactly when that happened, because I seem to, I remember at one point that you could only get like one bundle of resources at a time from the awesome shop. So that's kind of why I viewed, purchasing resources that way as a bit of a waste. But we can get multiple bundles, and because I've let so many resources run for so long just into various awesome sinks across my factory, we have like 100 tickets. So what I figured we could do... I'm on the wrong side. What I figured we could do is we reset. So what do we need for parts? Well, what can't I make? Currently, I don't have the means to make fuse modular frames. So if I add 2 stacks of that, because that comes in 50s, I need 1 stack of turbo motors, and these come in stacks of 100, so I need 2 stacks of that. So that handles almost everything for particle enrichment at only 32 tickets. And then I just need 5 stacks of quick wire.
Parts purchase confirmed. Promotion delayed by X times part value plus fixed stock value.
Yep, you're welcome. I could end up... I don't think I made a quick wire bypass yet, so... Our quick wire probably would be stacking up over here on the higher levels. Just in here. So it's 3 full stacks. 4 stacks, 5 stacks, and I'm going to hold on to that, just like as my personal supply, and then we can get particle enrichment. Particle enrichment is what's kind of keeping us back as far as our nuclear power situation, because I need particle accelerators in order to be able to make nuclear waste into something that I can awesome sink so that we can keep the power plants running constantly. So if I do that, and that, and this, and that. And there's...
Milestone reached. Project part number 9, nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator. The accelerator has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory. Fix-It does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant.
Yep.
Fun fact. Fix-It psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw one of these in here. I want to pick this again. Okay, so we do have a scan thing for hard drives. I'm going to put this. Because we're going to need to go looking for at least one additional hard drive. And I know a few places we can do that. It's 3, 5, sort. Is Fixbus actually still going on, or am I like... I don't know if we have the turbo motors. Yeah, but these are the ones that I know about. Give or take. We have 29 high speed. Okay, so we have plenty of control rods. So I could always swing through the north end over there and grab that. We also have heat sinks. I might end up starting a Subnautica playthrough relatively soon. Excuse me. Because I've been playing Subnautica off stream, and Subnautica is a really great game. And I do kind of want to, you know, mess around with that for a while. Oh, shit. There's a thing right there. Huh. Already been here. There should be one orb? Hang on, I want the orb. Oh, these are problems. Ooh, well, he's gone. Ow. Did he launch himself way over there? Holy shit. Okay, there's quick wire. Computers, take that, take that. Get out of here before I run out of iodine filters. Oh, there's another thing. Remove that marker. I hear fucking spiders. Is it down there somewhere? There it is. Hi, Ugly. How's it going? You want to get somewhere I can shoot you? How many turbo I say we have? We only have the one. Did I ever get that one? Clearly not. There's a couple of big fucking rhino things. Nope, that's been used. Okay, that's fine. So it's gotta be this way. Ah. And I hear something skittering around down there, so that's going to be fun to deal with. I think there's another toxic plume thing. Over there. The drop right. Oh, just got it. Fluff tails. EM rods. Okay. So we have 4 additional attempts. I'm not too worried about getting presents and all that. We don't really need Fixmas gifts anymore. I hadn't even realized we were over here. This actually gives us like a half-decent opportunity to go through the northern path and get the hard drive that's over there. I beg your finest pardon. I was unaware that this was here. That. Kind of surprised that'll actually go. Suck that up, suck those up, suck that up. Of course, that doesn't actually want to get eaten. And then we should have to go over there somewhere. That hog throwing rocks at incredible arches trying to slap me in the back. That. Hello, Tyrannosaurus. How's it going? Sorry if I didn't see you a little bit sooner. We've just been out gathering up some hard drives to hopefully. No shit! This is gonna kill me, isn't it? We're not gonna talk about that. We're not. That's no. Everything's fine. We're just, we're just not. Oh. What was I saying? Getting some things for some research about particle accelerators. Okay. So this is a much faster recipe, but it requires a supply of rubber, which I don't inherently like. It also requires crystal oscillators, which would suck. I think this is going to just be another one to eat up a bad recipe. What kind of... Okay, so I don't have that using... Yeah, I didn't specify anything for electromagnetic control rods. I could get that. That does, like, double it, and you just need... two of those. So that actually might need less, with a little bit of like quick wire and cable. Fuck it, I'll get this recipe. Slap another hard drive in there. And we're back at the base now, so I can use my thing again. I don't know why I've got two Nublisk detonators. Okay. Truth be told, one of the things that we still need to do a ton of work on is our resource network. As you can see, we've got smart beams and steel pipes and stuff getting funneled in. Did I ever do the versatiles? I have done versatiles, apparently. Why are they not? Unless they're filling in through the bottom one. These are all versatiles, aren't they? Yeah, see, I end up forgetting. But I think when I did this, I was also kind of concerned about the power status. Because our power grid was meant to operate best when I only had a certain number of machines, and we have since exceeded that number, so we're kind of, if the factory revs up to full speed, we're going to have a problem. You can hear the machines revving overhead. So we've at least done up to that. Which brings us to reinforced mod frames. Or not mod frames, reinforced steel beams. But before we do too much there, yeah, our max consumption is 22. Our production is 19.4. So we're 3.2 thousand megawatts short. Currently our consumption is sitting at around 9,000, so half. It's not really going to end up getting a whole lot better. So these produce 6 a minute, and I've got 3, 6, 7, 10. So a level 3 belt would be like serious overkill. That merges into that, which flows over here, merges into that. Which comes over here, merges into that. That's a merger, that flows that way. So we only need one splitter. here, left, overflow. I'm gonna put this in place first so that it actually builds the right way. I do have a appointment later today, so I do have to like get out of here at 10, which is why we're live a little bit early. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You are not telling me that's too long. Why do I do things the way I do? Hang on a second, hang on. Take that. Definitely not like that. Maybe if I take this. Pull that into there. Okay, that makes sense. And I pull this. Ha ha ha! And I know we just passed. There it is. Okay, that's another thing. I don't think either of these is a recipe that I wanted. Batteries might be effective though. Because this only requires sulfur. The problem being it would need plastic. And then sulfate may or may not end up being a more accessible resource. And you have EM rods. So those are actually relatively useful. 5 a minute, so that's like a 50% better motor. And then that saves us on stators, which I think stators require steel. Does it save it on us? Because it's 2 into 1. And then that's 1 into 2. But every one, no, it's a 1 to 1. Yeah, that might, but then you need the high speed. This. High-speed connectors. Okay, we don't have the alternate recipes for that. So I'm just going to scan another hard drive. Because I don't think that's either one of those is particularly effective. So let's figure out where our concrete concrete beams are. Continue leading this. Get that over to like the fourth connector. Perfectly straight. We are getting like really like, we might be able to go one level lower, but beyond that, over here we're basically like maxed out. We are very I don't think that's going to end up reaching. foundation. Do need to come through here because otherwise the pillars get in the way. And that actually ends up being low enough to make it. And there's your reinforced steel beams. And then stators are going to be fun. Do I dare try to find where I left all of my stators? Mod frames, rotors, and stators should be relatively close. These aren't then. They have to be those machines. Circuits. Reinforced. Motor. Ha! Stators. Now, okay, so it's one of the last machines on the end by the reinforced stuff. I want to see what I built over there, because I think it was more either rotors or stators, and I was wrong last time. Ha! Fertile uranium. That's one of the things that we needed. Ooh, but hang on. Okay. So this makes 6 turbo fuel per thing. So it's 2 fuel plus 4 heavy. And then 3 sulfur, and that's petroleum coke. This could be an amazing recipe. I need to do a little bit of looking into that. That is apparently kind of pretty good. But what I really wanted was this one. This is the next stage in our uranium refinement process. So you have the manufacturer that makes or that takes raw uranium, turns it into a pellet or something. The pellet then becomes a fuel cell. The fuel cell goes into the reactor. The reactor turns it into waste. You combine the waste with some additional uranium, as well as the what do you got here? Nitric and sulfuric acids. You combine it with both of those, and you get non-fissile uranium. And then you take the non-fissile uranium through another process and a particle accelerator, and to turn that into a plutonium pellet. So we need this one for sure. Then we scan more. I really don't know how long Fixmas lasts. I've honestly never paid attention to it in the past before. But it is kind of interesting that it's going this far into January. Those machines, those are the machines that I want to check out. What's our current? Yeah, still around 9,000. Now we do also have the battery banks. Yeah, okay, these are stators. So these are going to need come into line. They go over here. Yeah, if this ends up going all the way down, this is great. Because I can just use this. Doesn't like having that right there. If I put this, can I then... Yeah, I'll line it up with this. It'll be fine. I don't think I'm ever actually going to line anything up with that because you got all of those, but okay, so each of those generates right output overflow. Generates what, like 30? Here we are. Those combine. Okay. Everything combines into here. Zips over to here, combines with that. Combines with those, gets spit out this way. Spit out that way. Spit out that way. I'm gonna what? Stators makes 5 a minute. Okay, so it probably is less than 60 a minute. And then that's going to make a lead way the hell up there. And I think it was toward the front. So I'll use this line. Overflow. I'm not even sure if that's going to be right. And I really don't care if I don't need a fiver. I just don't want to use too many more steel beams. Oh, and it zips right under the line. How do I connect this to over here in a way that doesn't look absolutely maniacal? Okay, so I need to hit this spot. Which maybe like at that spot. Shit's getting weird. Kinda got an idea. It's like if I take this, right? I want to put a merger upstream from here. So if I take that, ooh, what if I like have it double around? That's not totally insane. It kind of is. But it works. Now I just need a way out of here. Because I want to see if we got another recipe that we need. Because I think we still need 2 more. Hard drive scan. Yeah, the instant plutonium cells. This was another step. And then the turbo. We need packaged nitrogen gas. And the stators. And the only really advanced thing is that, which is a fused frame. Oh, this could be a really good turbo motor recipe. But no, we need the plutonium cells more. Okay. So now let's go and hook up our stators to the storage bins. So instead of that going out to this one, I'm going to reduce this a little bit. Probably also going to reduce this. I would like to be able to use my jetpack, please. That should be the reinforced stuff. Yep. And then this is the one that I was just working on. Oops, I built that on the wrong thing. Did I just rebuild that into the same spot, or is that... I just rebuilt that into the same spot, didn't I? Did my computer crash? Okay, okay. Nope, game crashed. Shit. Well, that's a thing. Excuse me. Give me just a moment while we reestablish the game. It's coming back online. Just hold tight. Okay. At what point did it autosave? Should have been relatively recently, because we're like an hour and 15 minutes in. And I think it saves every 15 minutes. So yeah, like right before we started messing around with all the other stuff. Okay, so I still have to rewire the junk in here. I mean, first thing first. That's getting renovated that way. That's getting renovated that way. That. What if that doesn't drop down? What if... that is that. I could just do it like that. Which actually does work. And then it frees that line. One, two, three, four, five. Can it reach? Yes. All right. And then we have stators. Awesome. And then I'll just duck through here and make sure that we are actually working on a MAM research. Yep, we got a hard drive getting processed. Alright, so what's the next thing after stators? Motors, auto wire, and then plastic and rubber. Plastic and rubber shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. Motors, though. Those... Getting them to where we need to get them could be difficult. Mod frame, rotor. I think those are the motors. Yep. And we're only making 5 a minute, so definitely less than 60. Ugh, so I could do just level 1 belts if I wanted. Yeah, I might do level 1 belts. All the motors go to one place, hook around, and go that way. Which kinda works for us now, because we can just hitch on a smart splitter, tell left to go overflow, I don't know what the hell happened there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Okay. Hard drive scan complete. Okay, so we've got our pressure motors and alternate heat exchangers. I don't think that's an improvement. But this definitely is, I think. So I'm going to get our pressure motors. And we're going to throw in another hard drive. And then that's everything. But now we cannot use the right side again because the right side's already too low. So we have to use like the middle-ish. Probably too close. That should be good. Well, I'm not sure I can actually even bring it through on that. What if I... What if I... Do that and that. And somehow that works. Is it pretty? Absolutely not. But you know, it gets me where we need to go, and at this point, that's really all we need. It is fractions of a layer. Ugh. I might just spare myself the trouble with this one and have it like wire under and back. Because at that point, there's really not much to be said about keeping things I do like them to be neat. I just it ends up being a problem. And then the next thing that we need is auto wire, which is fairly easy to find because auto wire is just a space elevator part. So that's all right at the front. I thought that only had 2 minutes left. Am I hallucinating? Did I like time travel? What? Or did I like come back and then check it and then go do the thing? So that might be auto wire? Yep. And I've already got it hooked up to something because I'm pretty sure one of the other parts needed it. Left output overflow. Well, I completely forgot about that, but we don't really need it now. Whatever, okay. It's all the same to me. Ugh. Okay. Actually, a thing that we need 8 particle accelerators. And that requires products that I have actually not even started making yet. How quickly are these making auto wires? And I've got 6 of them. 6 times 2.5. What, like 20? One, two, three, four, five. So we've got turbo blend and the alternate turbo motors. So that is a really wonky ass recipe. It could end up being better. But the amount of whack ass stuff that you need, and the fact that I'm pretty sure EM rods require rotors, so you're essentially doubling up the number of motors that you've got to shove in there. I'm going to get the turbo fuel blend, because I feel like that's a really good recipe. And I feel like that's going to really help us out later on. I also don't really know, like, how much other stuff we're going to get for recipes, considering we're, like, cycling them, but I'm going to throw one more hard drive in there, and we're going to see how that does. I can't make either of those, can I? I need a blender for them. And then super and turbo, I might be able to make... I can make those in the crafting bench. I'm going to put this here. That there. One, two, three. I need plenty more just plain old iron plates. Fortunately, I have plenty more of them. Look at the rate some of this stuff is starting to move again. It almost feels good that this stuff is going. Like, at the same time, I don't want to overload the system, so it's kind of concerning. That should have come further out. I think it's still going to be just the two items that are going that way. So building it there should be fine. Aha! And that should be just about everything wired in on that side. Now I gotta worry about the stuff on that side, but that's going to be a whole different issue. Okay, so we got instant scrap. I don't think I want to make either of those. Because, I mean, it produces less water, but I would need to make sulfuric acid. Into 20. Into 20. Yeah, so I'm primarily using this. So 10 into 12. And then the 12 into 20. So it's basically a 10 to 20. And this is a 15 to 30. So it's the same. It's the same rate, basically. It cuts out a step, but it uses a blender instead of a refinery. Yeah, and I don't like that. Like, blenders are shorter than refineries, so for that reason, they're, like, easier to use in construction. But at the same time, I'd rather have refineries than a bunch of blenders using this stuff. And then also, like, the leached copper, that also uses sulfuric acid, and that's not great. So, yeah, I can't build the particle accelerators. You're doing supercomputers. You're doing shit I don't care about. You're doing the fuse stuff. So that requires heavy mod frames, which we have started wiring. We have started wiring those. We could easily take another smart splitter and have it reverse so that the heavy modular frames primarily come over here and then the overflow goes into the back supply. And then all we really need is the aluminum casings. And then it's going to be this, isn't it? Nope, that's turbos. Cooling systems. Okay, so that's motors. Okay, so we've got both of those set up. And then, Jesus, we're going to need a lot of nitrogen gas. 60 gas times 5, so that's 300 gas. 75 for every 2. 455. Let's call it 550. We would need 550 nitrogen gas. Get some that. There's one 3 kilometers that way and one kilometer that. We gotta use that one. The problem is gonna be wiring the throughput. We're going to need a lot of Mark II pipeline stuff. So we need to go back to our old production area because I still haven't wired up plastic and rubber yet. Those will be like the next things we worry about. But I at least want to start getting some of this stuff kind of wired. Probably only going to go for another half hour-ish. Not quite the same hours we usually stream, but I want to head over to my appointment a little bit earlier because I need to get my car looked at. And if they can get it in early, that means I get to go to sleep early. And I have work tonight, which I was not expecting. I was expecting to go to work this previous night. Stream at 8 o'clock. go get the car fixed, come back, and sleep all day. That did not happen. But I think we got all of our... I think we got all of our nuclear recipes. There's a chance we're missing one, but I don't know. I think we got them all. One, two, three, four. Shkadonk. Shkadonk. So I was saying that we need around 550 in order for this to be like worthwhile. How's things looking? Okay, they're a little bit worse. We are at about 10,500 or 11,000. Which is a little bit high. But honestly, compared to everything else, we are not doing that bad. So we're there. If I just go from the end over here out that way. Is that water? Water pump. there's an entrance to a cave. And I am not interested in seeing where that goes. Now, the good thing about gas is that we shouldn't need any pumps. I don't know what that's supposed to be protecting. Unless it's just there for, like, an environmental hazard. Ooh. Got a little, Mercer sphere. $720. And we needed just under 600. So that'll be great. Also, I'm going to have to take a very quick bathroom break, so please just enjoy the wonderful ambiance of the machine just thumping away in the background. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Switch screens. So, that makes 120. That makes 120. That only makes 60. That makes 120. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one? One, two, three, four. this pipe now has 600 nitrogen gas. Which, for our purposes, should be plenty. Here. One, two, three, four, five. Good enough. Because things are going to get really weird once we start messing around with... Where the fuck is that going? Okay. There's, that's not an actual ground area over there. But, okay. What was I doing? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, these are the same. And I'm probably not going to wire these... I don't think I want to wire these up today, because I do need to get going. I do have that maintenance appointment I need to take care of. But, there's a chance I'll wire up the is it nitrogen? Nitrogen gas. And the blenders offline, because I do need a couple hundred parts. They're not going to be running at peak efficiency. I don't think they're even going to be running close to peak efficiency. So I've got to figure those out and do something with them. Gotta just let them run at some point. I don't know what we're going to end up doing on Thursday. I want to do more Witcher because Witcher's really fun. But at the same time, like, we've been doing a lot of Witcher and I kind of want to take a quick break from it. I might use Thursday to like start a Subnautica playthrough and just kind of keep that on the back burner. It really depends. Try to stand on the edge of this thing so that I don't get driven back and it doesn't want to let me just stand there. Freaking some of these starting to run at the numbers they're supposed to. Yeah, and then this is going to have to like dive off. I actually can run that under and around. So that shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I can just run it that way. Come up over here somewhere, rejoin, go around, and then we're basically at the area where we need the nitrogen to be. So I'm probably going to call it here. We did pretty good. We got most of what we needed to. We got the hard drives. We got a bunch of research done. We got some good alternate recipes. I'm pretty sure I got all of the recipes that I wanted. And now we can, in theory, we can get our uranium nuclear power plants up and running. We do need to build a lot of infrastructure for that, though. We need to be able to make fuse frames and cooling systems and everything else. So there's a bit more we need to do. And I do need to wire up more of... Well, I don't really need to wire up any more of the storage to get all of that running, so... I'll figure out some of that. I'm not going to wire up the nuclear stuff just yet, because that's going to be a thing for our next Satisfactory stream. So I don't know what we're doing on Thursday, but Thursday we should be live at the normal time at around 8 a.m. I usually stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Usually go for a couple hours. I don't think I've got this Thursday off, so it is going to be a 2-hour stream-ish. Anyway. Babylon stream 53. Save. Alright, everyone. Thank you for stopping in. Uh, yeah, I think I covered everything. Yeah, and I don't know what we're gonna do on Thursday. I'll think of something. Take care, guys. I'll catch you around. Stay safe out there. Ciao.